Hey, everybody, my name is John DePietro.
And I'm Bob Zagami with the Camper Report Show.
And on this Camper Report Show, it's a very special show because we are reporting to you live from the streets, from the Uncommon Grounds coffee shop on Broadway in Saratoga Springs, New York, where I'm RVing this week. How about you? Looks like you're in familiar territory.
I am in Maine at the Portland Headlight. Well, not exactly, but as close as I can be today to the Portland Headlight, the most photographed lighthouse in the United States of America.
Yep. And I am going to be bringing you a story that is very interesting. How about you? Who are you going to be talking to? And I'll tell you more about my story in a minute.
I've got Mark Howlett, and we're talking about the 10th anniversary of Truma. Amazingly, they've been in the country, established in North American operations 10 years ago, and have had spectacular success. And we're going to talk to them all about it.
Well, you're talking with a veteran. I'm talking with a new person. His name is Jonathan Schluss, and he is the owner and inventor of Car Generator. And anybody who has a travel trailer, fifth wheel, or anything like that, that needs emergency power, Car Generator is the answer. Those stories, plus all the news of the week. Where are we getting our news?
From RV Business for the RV side and Woodall's Campground Magazine on the campground side.
All coming up right here. Where, Bob?
On the Camper Report Show.
Stay with us, everyone. And welcome back to the Camper Report Show. My name is John DePietro. His name is Bob Zagami. I'm in Saratoga Springs, New York, and you are in Maine. And Bob, you know, one of the interesting parts about RVing, one of the interesting aspects about RVing is that people from all walks of life enjoy RVing. And for example, our main two stories this week are a interesting partnership between Lippert and Harvest Host, both companies we know very well, but they're hosting a gigantic event in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. I think there's like 500,000 people that go to this. It's going on right now this week. And the interesting part about Harvest Host is that they kind of specialize in non-traditional places to camp. And Lippert is as conventional as you can be because, you know, 40 or 50% of the RV that people might be in at any one time are made up with Lippert components. Talk a little bit about this way of merchandising and marketing RVing.
Well, this is an RV first. This is the first time that Lippert and Harvest Host have coordinated a major advertising and marketing program, and it's at the EAA Air Venture Show, which is anybody that likes airplanes. That show is on their bucket list. Absolutely on their bucket list. You have to go. Do you realize 40,000 RVs are on site? 40,000 RVs besides all the other people.
Yep.
So they're gonna have a hospitality tent for people to kind of rest and relax and learn more about Lippert and Harvest Host. Lippert will be celebrating and introducing them to many of the Lippert products. Harvest Host will be talking to them about the unique camping adventures at Harvest Host locations. And then they're going to have a hospitality event at one of the Harvest Host locations. So your 40,000 RVs, probably with 80 or 100,000 people, and they're going to do it up big for them. Like I said, it just started. If you're there, you can find them at the Aviators Oasis VIP Lounge, and you should see the Lippert and the Harvest Host logos. But
Yep.
This is an amazing, and this is the first I've heard of it. So they kept this pretty quiet, right up until the time the show opened, because they don't have to. The beauty of this arrangement, they don't have to get people to the event.
They're there.
People are going to go with or without them. But what it does is
I think,
provide them an incredible amount of exposure to two great companies in our industry. One that provides a lot of accessories and parts for RVs, and Harvest Host, which crosses over into the outdoor hospitality space with unique overnight accommodations.
And look at the demographics of the two events. And we're going to talk about another one in just a minute. But these tend to be younger, adventurous people that fly airplanes or go to air shows and that type of thing. Where on another aspect of RVing, FMCA, which tends to generate activity with an older demographic, is having their big event coming up. And, they're in the full planning stages. So, you know what? They're not going to have helicopter rides. They're not going to have parachuting or anything at a FMCA event. But nevertheless, different demographic, but same thing, the love of RVing. That's the coolest part about RVing.
You bring up a great point, though, about the two distinctly different audiences, because at the air show, there's going to be a million kids. There isn't a kid around that doesn't like to go to an air show, look at airplanes and helicopters and what have you. So you get more of that family orientation at the air show for Lippert and Harvest Host, whereas FMCA is having their 107th rally, international rally that started here in Brinkley, Maine. This was the 107th, so they're doing two a year.
Yeah,
so it's the 60th
ago.
anniversary. Right. So the 60th anniversary of FMCA, which does tend to be a more mature crowd of people who have been together year after year after year. They develop close relationships with them and have regional rallies, but many of them would not miss the international rally every year for the camaraderie and the people that they have there. And of course, there's seminars, there's food and other things, but that group goes there to socialize.
Yep. And talk about socializing. I'm going to be, again, at Saratoga, where there is about 6 weeks of horse racing. Now, I don't know much about horse racing, but I like socializing. And there, even on a weekday where we'll go, there'll be 30 or 40,000 fans, culminating with the Traverse Stake, which is, right up there with the Triple Crown with notoriety. And there are always hundreds of RVs in the parking lot. So we'll be checking out those people.
Yeah. And that's another one of those events where the people who enjoyed that sport, they wouldn't miss Saratoga in August.
Exactly.
It's such a main event. And, the other thing that's interesting is on the drive up from Florida to Maine, I noticed something that I had not really noticed before. From Florida to Virginia and maybe the start of the New Jersey Turnpike, I would say that 80% of the RVs that I saw were motorhomes. From the New Jersey Turnpike, Delaware Bridge to Maine, 80% were travel trailers.
Yeah.
Now, I just never know, but it was so pronounced this trip that you could see that people are still taking long trips from north to the south.
Yep.
But there's still a lot of trailers and family camping going on in the holiday weekends and we'll to Labor Day. So it's a great time to go RVing.
You know what? We spend 48 weeks a year or 40 weeks a year talking about getting ready for the RV season or talking about it. We're in the middle of it right now. And you know what? People are having fun. I saw so many units on the Mass Turnpike and New York Thruway today. And it's really fun. So that's the wrap on camping.
I was like,
and this is the Camper Report Show.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to the Camper Report Show, and I'm here today with Mark Harlett, COO of Truma Corporation. And Mark, I started talking to you 10 years ago when you went into that little house on the hill, and we all wondered what was Truma and what were they going to bring to the RV industry, and look at what you've done in just 10 years.
The little blue house.
Bob. Yeah.
No, it's been actually before the little blue house. I always tell the story of the American, the Canadian, and the German meet at the Staybridge Hotel on Cassopolis by the toll road exit, and that's really how our first encounter and first meetings took place. I still remember barbecuing in the little patio area of the Staybridge Hotel. So even before the blue house, the little blue house downtown Elkhart, we were 3 people. So we're almost, I think we're around 70 people. I have to get a weekly update from our HR team now. We had no products, and now we have quite the portfolio of products. And yeah, it's been an exciting time, and 10 years has flown by, and looking forward to 10 more.
Yeah, it's interesting because when they first started putting your products on the RVs, people would question, who's Truma? But the company has an incredible history, including its name. So for consumers that may have your products but not really know about the company, give us a little kind of 30,000-foot overview of Truma in the world stage.
Yeah, so Truma was actually founded in 1949, and as you alluded to, the name Truma actually comes from Harry S. Truman, who was instrumental in supporting Germany post-World War II with the Marshall Plan. And the Marshall Plan was put in place to help invest money into the country, which had been fairly devastated from the war. The founder, Philip Price, actually took advantage and took an advantage of that, the Marshall Plan and the monies that were there. He was a teacher at the time, actually, and he was teaching in Munich. And because the infrastructure was bombed out and electricity was up and down, he had some old gas lanterns that he fixed up. And he was actually able to run classes in the evenings. And people on the street were kind of looking, why does this guy have light and I don't have any light? And he's became an entrepreneur and started building gas lanterns. The funny thing, I actually own a European trailer that was imported into North America. And it still has Truma gas lanterns. It's a 1970s trailer, so it's still fairly old. But if you look in our if you look in our current catalogs, we still sell parts for Truma gas lanterns that are installed in old 70s trailers. So long history, and very interesting that it somewhat ties back to the United States and many years, 64 years later, that we founded the company in the United States.
Yeah. And now it's on, probably most OEMs have some product with the Truma nameplate on it. Give us a rough idea of the products that you're selling into the manufacturers that wind up with the consumer getting the advantage of the quality engineering, the German engineering, and the reason why these companies have switched to Truma products.
We have several products. I think, we started when we came to market, we spent a lot of time studying the market and did some surveys with end consumers, with dealers, with the manufacturers to kind of understand what the needs were. And the one thing that we did find was that, whether you bought a $10,000 pop-up or you bought a $600,000 Class A, they were somewhat fitted with the same type of equipment, same water heaters, same furnace heating systems. So we set out to develop one area that we found was water heaters. The technology could be better. So our engineers set out to develop, and we introduced the Truma AquaGo in 2015. That somewhat, at the time, there was other on-demand water heating systems that had issues. Unfortunately, with the product design, we were able to come into the market, and as that market stream was moving upwards, where people were looking at that technology, to be able to come in with a product, and we stand for a certain level of quality, innovation with technology, and doing things differently, and making it easy and efficient for the consumers, right? So using less propane, using less electric power, all things that feedback that we receive from consumers. We have a mix of products today that combine a lot of technology that we have in the European market. The Truma Combi is our number one selling product, very innovative with a 2-in-1 heating, forced air heating system, as well as a small water supply on board, so we can heat water, we can provide heating for the air, we can combine it with both propane, with diesel power, with electric power in a very compact, small space. So that really helped us propel into the market, fitting into Class B vehicles. We were helping to support that market growth with some of the larger OEMs who were building into the Class B market, and that really helped us gain a little bit more awareness in the market with a product that was highly proven, and where we had a lot of experience selling it on a global stage.
When you do look at the market, you have products, as you said, that fit into a pop-up or a Class B or even a diesel pusher. So it's allowed the manufacturers to bring your product lines across their product category lineup, right?
Yes, definitely. We can be on any type of vehicle. As far as smaller components, we even brought our all-day systems from Sweden, which I always point to the sign there, all day. We support that product in North America as well, which has the capability to heat larger systems with a different type of heating system, hydronic. Again, a little bit more innovative in the technology. We've invested in 2019 we built the building that you see behind us here, on County Road 6 in Elkhart, that houses now our headquarters, our service, and our warehouse distribution, for all of North America. In there, we also invested heavily into a climate chamber, which allows us to test vehicles, to show and prove both from a heating side and from a cooling side, the capability. So yes, anything that you can build from an RV side, we are able to support.
Well, I know when you built that, you told me that you thought it would last forever, but it that that didn't come to pass, Mark. How long did it take you to fill it up?
Well, we moved in 2019, and I think in by 21 we've already outgrown it. So yeah, I don't want to say it was poor planning. I think it was good luck. I always call the reality a little bit sometimes luck that we were able to grow it. We always our ability to supply during the pandemic as well was somewhat critical for our customers, and having that warehouse on site and being able to expand and grow and support our customers was critical for us. And it kind of focused on what we were trying to do in the market is be different from other suppliers.
Well, I,
You'll never hear me kind of talk of ourselves as being a supplier. I'm always focused on a partnership.
yeah.
And sometimes we're not always everybody's partner. We would love to be everybody's partner, but I think some people are looking for a supply, just give us parts. That's not really how we work. We want to be a part, and we believe that we offer some other capabilities beyond just supplying and shipping parts out. Being able to offer complete systems is what has made us who we are today, and being able to back them up with the quality, the auditing in the lines, and support for consumers across North America, I believe has helped us grow, and put the name into consumers' mouths a little bit more, that they understand who we are and what we offer to the market.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it came from the fact that you might not be the least expensive product in the marketplace, but others can't compete with the quality German engineering. When people look at products that come out of Germany forever and ever, it's been a step above most of the competition. So the cost of doing business with you is a lot less over the product life cycle. And that, we finally have manufacturers that have recognized that. And the more that they can decrease the customer dissatisfaction with products, the more products that they can sell. And as you said, it's truly a partnership that has served both you and your customers very well.
No, no, definitely. Life cycle ownership. We released the Akko and the Combi in 2015. There are products still out there running from original owners. It's always interesting to talk to people that still have the product. We design it so that the maintenance level is almost non-existent. The Combi product requires very little to no maintenance. Therefore, and the expectation from Europeans when we develop products, it is with a mindset of a European thinking that it has to be efficient. We have to use less energy. That is critical. It has to be small and compact because the spaces are small and compact, and it has to last. Typically, Europeans don't have the same consumerism thinking that North Americans have. When I throw things out every 3 years and replace it, the expectation is that it does last the lifetime. 20 years is not unheard of for Europeans to consider that things should last. and definitely we build our products with that in mind. Some components definitely cannot last forever, but based on usage, we've been able to increase that life cycle for customers and reduce the overall pain that both dealers and OEMs have to deal with, right? The feedback we get is, I never have to worry about the Truma products from a service side, and
Right.
that's a plus for the service team.
And if they do, you've got the service team to back it up.
Definitely.
Our guest this morning is Mark Harlett, COO of Truma North America. Mark, you're finishing up your first 10 years. So congratulations to you and Gerhard on what you have built here in the United States. What are you going to do for an encore?
An encore.
The next 10.
The next 10. Oh, the next 10. If I had said that the last 10 was very well mapped out, Bob, I'd be lying. Definitely, we have long-term plans. We've invested in the market here. Our investment in the building, as I mentioned earlier, getting up to 70 people is all investment for a longer term. We continue to bring new markets. We continue to bring new products to market. Based on the needs and getting closer to our customers, looking at engineering, how do we get closer to understand those needs and translate them and bring that German influence to North America, be able to react when markets shift and needs shift. There's the move of electrification. We've been able to support that as well with our new air conditioner, the rooftop Aventa. And we'll be looking at other products that help support that electrification of the world right now. The whole world is moving to electric, and we'll play a part of that, and we'll be able to support consumers and OEMs in building vehicles for the future.
Sure, and the Aventa is being shipped on a lot of the OEM products right now, so that's a good jumping off point for your next 10 years. Mark, I want to thank you. I know you got a busy schedule. Let's stay in touch, and I will visit with you and Gerhard and celebrate with you at the 10th anniversary during the dealer open house in September. So save a spot for John and I. We'll be out there.
John, yes, John's invited as well.
All right. Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Bob.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Camp Report Show. My name is John DePietro, and RV shows are the places that a lot of new and innovative products are made available to the public. And we are here, and we have found a very interesting product, and we have the inventor, the chief cook and bottle washer, Jonathan Schlew. And Jonathan, tell us about Car Generator, because it's kind of fascinating.
Thank you. I'm Jonathan Schlew with Car Generator, and Car Generator is a really simple way to get backup power without hassle. So you get 1,000 watts of power. The most 90% of the people buy our 1,000 watt model, and that model gives you 1,000 watts of power. It's like having, from an RV perspective, it's like having 1,000 watts of solar. But
on
just,
your roof.
But anytime you want, instead of having the install and everything else. It's 11 pounds, so it's really lightweight. You just hook it up to your car, the battery, the jump start terminals, start your engine, and you've got power. Plug into your shore power cord, all of your outlets light up, and you can charge your batteries just like it was the grid. And you can also use it for home backup.
So, why did you invent this? What happened that gave you this brainstorm?
Sure. I ran a tech company for 20 years and I sold it. My wife and I bought a 30-foot Airstream, and we love traveling. And we got 5 big solar panels on the roof, almost over a half a kilowatt of solar, but we kept pressing the cappuccino button. And we kept running out of power, and we needed more power. And I thought, you know what? Why do I want to carry an 80 or 100 pound big gas motor with me everywhere? I see people with these hoists that they lifted up on their pickup trucks to try to carry this thing around. Yeah. When you've got a great engine with you, and really a generator, your car is 75% of a generator right there.
Okay, so I got to stop you, because why not just go out and buy one of those Honda generators or other brands, that kind that you can get at Harbor Freight, it's so much easier than going through the invention process.
It's true, but really I looked at it and I was like, why would I buy another 80-pound motor if I can just use my car for this? Because a generator, a traditional generator, Mike Sokol also talks about it, is a gas tank, a motor, an alternator, and an inverter. And your car already has a great gas tank, a big one that can run for 70 hours worth of fuel, a great motor, an alternator. All you need is the last part, was an inverter. And what we did is we put it in an inverter, a quality commercial grade inverter, in a weatherproof, fully ventilated, patented enclosure with the right things. So it's really easy to use.
Okay, so if it's an inverter, why not just go to Walmart and buy one off the shelf for $30?
That's what I say.
Or Home Depot or Lowe's.
And that's what I say. And I look around at all the power outages and everything, and I think if an inverter, just an inverter, was the solution, everyone would have gone to Walmart and bought an inverter already. But it's not, because how do you do it safely? How do you take out the right amount of power? What do you do when it's raining for 3 days and you're stuck in your trailer and you need power, which is when you need it the most? Where do you put that inverter? You can't put it under the hood. It's too hot. You can't put it on the ground. It's wet. So our product is fully weatherproof, fully rainproof. It can go through pretty much a monsoon, high winds, ice storm. We actually lived in our own house for 3.5 days after a big ice storm and used it to provide power. The whole house stayed warm.
So what you're telling me is that beyond RVing, this has additional uses.
It sure does. You can use it. Both, half of our market is for traditional RV, just hook it up to your shore power cord, and the other half of our market is for home backup, where you use it to run 3 most important things. One is your home oil or gas furnace. Second is your fridge or freezers, and the third is your sump pump. So those 3 things.
How about your cable TV? That's more important
and
than
of
fridge
course,
or freezers.
You're correct. 4. So internet and TV to keep the kids happy and to keep you happy and your wife entertained. So those are the 4 uses, the 4 magic uses.
Okay. If you're running your car for that amount of time, doesn't it damage it?
That's actually, so I went on a show, you probably know Shark Tank. I'm from Canada, Toronto, Canada. My wife and I live downtown. I went on a show called Strag A.
You know where Yonge Street is?
I do.
Yeah.
We live about 10 minutes from there. So
Okay.
About. So my wife and I, what was the question you asked me again?
You lived off you lived off it in your house.
Right. We lived it off in our house. We basically just started our car and we got power and we could use that. So it's very simple to just switch on your car and you've got power and you can run it for I'm sorry. I went on Dragon's Den, which is Shark Tank. And there's 4,000 people that apply, 160 people pitch in front of investors, and only about 80 get on the air. And we actually got on the air and we got $100,000 and we got a deal, and we just have been growing like crazy ever since then.
Okay, so how do you sell it?
So we currently sell it on our website, www.cargenerator.com, which is super easy. We ship it directly to people anywhere in Canada and North America. Comes by UPS. It's very simple to use and anyone can use it. My mom's 85 years old and she can even use it. It's 11 pounds.
Now, many times elderly folks, when they run into a power failure, they have CPAP machines and other breathing devices. Will this provide enough power to service those units?
It will, and we've got an interesting story, 2 interesting things. A customer recently bought one and used it in a power outage to keep his insulin in good shape. He's got a Subaru, I think it was, and he has a fridge where he has to keep his medications and insulin at temperature. Use that, no problem. And the second one is a customer that his wife had a hip replacement. And so she had to use, they had a power outage and she had to use like an electric, one of those rising easy chair sort of things. And it worked for that too. So there's so many uses that people use it. It's just a really simple way to get backup and portable power without the hassles. And different than the solar generators. You see all the solar generators out there, there's lots of them out there. They're a battery. And usually you need power when it's bad weather, unless you're camping in the Himalayas and it's sunny. a lot of times it's bad weather and you need power, and that's the magic of Car Generator, is you can use it in any weather. It's fully weatherproof and it's fully ventilated and it's patented because of that process.
Well, you mean that process?
Of putting
in Canada, it's a process.
Process.
Right. Okay. But you know what? Canadians and Americans, we're friends. We share borders.
We're all North Americans.
And, the National Hockey League exists because of Canadians. So with that being said, how about a price point? What should people expect to pay?
Sure. So our most popular model, 1,000-watt Car Generator, is $795. And that comes with the all-weather, fully enclosed case. You can just take it out of the box, hook it up, hang it on the front of your car. Really simple. You can see it at www.cargenerator.com. And it also includes our furnace, our home furnace oil or gas furnace connection kit. So it includes the parts you need for that. It also includes an AC watt meter, 3-year extended warranty, and free shipping, all in that price.
Okay. Do I need an electrician to set this up? Or
we provide the instructions, and then it's up to you to decide if you are the person that want to do it yourself, or you can hire someone.
But you don't need a special license or technical skill to be able to do this.
We just provide the instructions, and then it's a basic thing. You're putting a plug on your furnace, or we actually sell a really cool product. The most popular accessory is our home integration kit, which is a little box that's $4.95, and it goes beside your electrical panel. And when the power goes out, you plug into one simple plug on the outside of your house, and you just flip 1, 2, 3, or 4 switches. It could be your furnace, your fridge, your freezers, and it saves you running extension cords in through a window and up and down through the dark stairways and pull out your fridge away from the wall. So that's a very popular accessory. It's our home integration kit. So that's a super easy way, and it works with gas, diesel, electric, and hybrid cars. You get 50 to 70 hours of power easily. And it uses about the same amount of gas as a portable generator, which is really important. A lot of people don't realize that, but the Ford F-150s with a built-in 2,000-watt generator, Ford, you can buy them. You can spend $80,000 to buy a new truck, and that will run for 85 hours on a tank. So that gives you an idea of how much fuel you can and how long you can run your truck for, which is pretty typical.
Great. So we want to thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day.
Thank you.
The product name is Car Generator, and
Car
there
Generator.
is the website, cargenerator.com. His name is Jonathan. My name is John. This is the Camper Report Show.
Same shirt I wore on Dragon's Den, 100K, baby.
Have a great day, everybody.